One.
Welcome to Tempo.
What's up?
Three dudes just talking about stuff.
We need a Booker T style intro that's like, can you keep up, sucker? We need a Booker T style intro that's like, can you keep up? Echo coming through. All right, that's the live show.
Yeah, it's going down.
That's how you know. Like, gave you the right link. All right, so
Yes.
All right, boys.
All right, let's start it off. Baseball, violent, huh?
So, well, yeah, you don't think of baseball as a contact sport. So, a little backstory to this. This was a Houston Astros game, and
it was gangster.
And I don't know if everybody heard about this, but there was this big scandal last year. We talked about it on our show a little bit, where the Houston Astros got accused and proven and draft picks taken away for essentially just stealing information. I mean, it would essentially be like, right, if I were to go to the playbook, if I were to sneak across the field in an NFL game and look at your playbook.
Like the Patriots did.
Stop.
Anyway, Patriots aside.
Ain't that what the Patriots did to the Bengals?
Oh, yeah, because you're definitely talking about
the Bengals slightly different.
The Bengals.
What they tried to like film. Well, okay, I guess there's a comparison there, but it's not really. There's a difference between having a stealing the signs off of a camera angle is like completely. Like, one thing if you could somehow steal the signs. Like, I've even heard players that had said that initially in regards to the original situation. Like, okay, stealing the signs is messed up, but it's not as bad as if you like literally pointing a camera down center field and stealing the information that way. Because then all you have to do is like basically just kind of delineate down like what does this sign mean. You could just take a bunch of footage and figure that out yourself. Who knows how long they were actually doing that for before it became something they could use effectively. The thing that bothered me personally the most about that is I remember that being such a big deal. There was the hurricane that came through Texas and hit Houston pretty hard. And so it was a pretty cool thing to see them come back and win a couple, make it to a World Series and then win and then make it to another World Series. So I was like, that's pretty cool. I wasn't even really watching baseball as much back then. But now you got, and this has been talked about. It was happening during spring training. Every pitcher that can is trying to drill these guys. And I honestly don't blame them because, like, I would be really upset if I found out that, like, the possibility of me winning a world championship in sports might have been screwed out of it. We don't know how far it went.
How did they get screwed out of it?
Because they were stealing.
Is that why he's throwing balls at people's heads?
Yeah. So, I mean, stealing signs is, like, really bad. I mean, there's been multiple World Series that have been essentially invalidated by the reveal that there was been sign stealing involved. I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, they used the camera and stole the signs. Well, couldn't you just do that with the regular broadcast? Well, yes, but it's different when you're pointing it literally right down the catcher's face and saying, okay, what's he doing with his hands? And then at that point, it's just collecting information. It doesn't seem, and it didn't to me as a person who I would consider a layperson personally when it comes to baseball. I don't nearly know as much as a lot of the other people out there that watch baseball. But I do know that this was definitely I don't think it was warranted, but I do think and I wouldn't want to imply that, but I think I understand where the players are coming from on this. They feel like their careers have been messed with because your trajectory in baseball is a little different than a lot of other sports. Let's say you're not like a veteran, you might not have another opportunity to win in a World Series in your life. It may just not happen. Sometimes teams go on droughts.
You guys suspended for the whole game too. I mean, he only got suspended for one game though. He could have killed that dude.
Well, you say that,
that's
but
some good reflexes though.
Pitching team, and it's one game out of 60, so it's like it really does kind of matter. I mean, 60 games. I know people are like, "Oh, well, 60 games." It's like like almost 5 times as many as baseball. How many regular season games there's in in football. But it's still, I mean, in baseball, the game's 162 games. The season's 162 games when you have a regular season. So this is less than half of a regular season at this point. And so we'll just have to see how that goes. But, okay, so I wanted to do a fun sports story besides just the violence in baseball, because it's really a really weird conversation. Because do you really
baseball needed to do that? Because baseball won anyway. They need to start fighting and hitting people with bad. I'm sorry.
Every year, people don't realize. I've seen more fights in the last year in baseball than I have in hockey. And granted, I watched way more baseball than I did hockey last year, but like I saw plenty of footage of bench clearing brawls from last year in football and in baseball. But yeah, baseball, I agree. And baseball just changed some rules recently. So in overtime now, when you go to extra innings, you now get a man that starts on second every time, which I assume goes for both sides of the inning.
Yeah, I saw it today. They do. They're putting the men on second. That's so they don't have them extra innings. Like we'll be going to like, what's that game that went like 19 innings or something?
I actually talked with a friend about that too. I guess we can talk about this when we're talking about baseball. So the interesting thing for me, my team's already lost a game on it, which doesn't make me happy, but I understand the point of the rule. But I don't think it makes baseball more exciting. I think it makes overtime more exciting. And then I was making the argument, how many games actually go? And then my friend brought up like 6 examples out of the last 60 or so games, or however many games, like a maximum of like 120 total, because it's been like 6 or 7 games across the whole league. So it really just depends on what your definition of exciting is. It doesn't make me more excited. It just means when overtime happens, it might be over like instantly because someone just gets a really nice hit. Your leadoff man hits you into a win. I don't know. But so I'm curious what y'all think about Tom Brady's Super Bowl chances this year.
I think they're high now. Is a thing. What with the Tampa Bay Bucks?
I think they high.
You high.
Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady.
You high.
And he's got
matter.
So the reason I added this is a last second story before we.
He messing around in the South. They're gonna knock his head off. No. He down there against. You got to play Atlanta. Come on, you about to get tore up.
You don't play Atlanta? Oh yeah.
Well, it's like arch rivals. Dragging them.
He is at arch rival with them. I mean, him and Gronk maybe because they were both there when they won. But I mean,
yes.
Beyond that, the rest of the team doesn't really have that much, other than divisional history. They don't really have that much history.
Brady's retiring after this year.
It could be.
His head off.
If he wins, then he probably does. If he doesn't, I bet he stays a couple more years just to try and.
Because he's not about to do the Peyton Manning. The Broncos was an established team with them.
So the reason why I always find these situations interesting is because you always have the argument: is it Brady or is it Belichick? Is it Brady or is it Belichick? Who is the real? Personally, I think if you really look at history, it's both, right? Yeah, there can't be a Tom Brady without a Bill Belichick, but there also can't be a Bill Belichick without a Tom Brady. I mean, you can't really make the argument that.
Well, we'll see. That's what we're gonna find out this year. If Cam go out there,
not all 100 are going to step up, but you can also. I bet if you put 100 Bill Belichicks, probably a good margin more are going to be successful just because of the background. I mean, if you ever look into. If you want to ever have a fun time, go back through some of that NFL 100 stuff from last year, and listen to Belichick talk about how he somehow has a connection to like every major player in history. I mean, the guy's literally like a football encyclopedia.
No, it really is. I mean, and again, that's why I say I think it's part him and part Tom Brady. I mean, again, you put somebody in there.
Tom Brady flattens the balls.
Right, a sports team is like a really nice sandwich, right? It takes a lot of really nice ingredients to make a really nice sandwich. If you have a few really good ingredients, it can make a good sandwich. But if you don't have all the right ones to make the sandwich you're trying to make, so if Bill Belichick's trying to make a 6 Super Bowl club or something, you know what I mean? He's going to need, a slice of Brady, a slice of Gronk, a slice of Amendola, one of
I mean, we got it with Cam, but they're going to have to change their style on how they run their plays because Cam's a quarterback, and he's huge and physical.
He's got to be able to change up.
Preseason or OTAs for Cam, so he's just walking onto the field day one to see if he's going to get the job.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared Stidham is obviously hungry. Otherwise, they wouldn't have even brought him up. So it's like, we'll see how that shakes out, Who knows? Cam could end up flipping this around, have a really good year, end up on a different team than Jared.
They're talking about Antonio Brown to the Ravens.
Man, Antonio Brown.
They're talking about to the Ravens. Oh, they're bringing him to the Ravens. The Ravens is trying to pick him up.
Didn't
Lamar Jackson say he think. Yeah, Lamar Jackson said he think he can play well with them. It was just on ESPN today. So they're talking about bringing Antonio Brown to the Baltimore Ravens. If they do that, they got it. But they're saying AB straighten up.
Well, he had to. I mean, from where he was, to be honest, ain't nowhere else to go up but up.
But him and Lamar Jackson are friends. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So they are talking to him and bringing him there.
He was tweeting about that. Lamar Jackson was saying it was fun throwing to him. I was hoping we would get him, but I'm still hoping.
Yeah, no, they did some workouts in the offseason, I guess, together. So
yeah, they're talking about it could be a good chance for it too.
I remember hearing about that and thinking that'd be cool if that actually ever had anything come of it. And then I didn't hear anything, so I was like, okay, it must have been it didn't work out, or he said something stupid. But who knows? Okay, so I don't know how we avoided talking about this next one. So somehow, all right, boys. So we all watched the Patrick Mahomes story occur last year, and we were having a fun time with it. And it's finally come to a fruition. I actually thought we were going to be a couple of years out from this deal being signed, if I'm being completely honest, because I figured they'd try and save the money. But what I guess happened was they just front-loaded and back-loaded a lot of the contracts in the middle years in between.
They did the right thing. Patrick Mahomes has made a huge difference on the Chiefs.
Yes. And if you're going to have a piece like that, it's either you're going to pay him that kind of money, or in a few years he's going to go get paid somewhere else. And I don't think that's Patrick Mahomes' character, but if he's not going to look at Dak Prescott, perfect example. Now, he's not worth the same kind of money.
No.
But a guy that wants his worth is going to go get it somewhere else if you don't give it.
Prescott good. It's just Mahomes. He's young. Well, been in the year 3 years, maybe 2, 3. Made a huge difference. His defensive awareness is like outstanding.
Imagine going from being on the bench to being the starter in your rookie year, and then year 2 you're the MVP, year 3 you're a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP.
That's what happened to Steve Young when he took over the 49ers.
It's just an absurd.
After Joe Montana.
I know. Yeah. It's just an absurd, and he's got that, and you want to talk about quarterbacks that can remove wrench into Lamar Jackson. Steve Young was like the original guy. No, but anyway,
No, he came after Joe Montana. He was on the bench while Joe Montana was running out there.
I'm saying he's the original guy. Like he was known for his mobility outside of the pocket. I want to say, but I could be wrong about Young.
Mahomes came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Mahomes is like almost like a hybrid player in a lot of ways. Like he has so many things up his sleeve. I completely understand. Wanting to pay him this kind of money because that you're going to get in the next 10 years, you're going to get something good out of it. You just don't know what yet. And who knows? It could be the most unironically terrible contract in history if it turns out he just washes out eventually. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think Mahomes.
I think if Lamar Jackson don't get injured, like if he can hold it out, being a running quarterback like that, because he kind of like Michael Vick, is very exciting to watch. Really makes football, exciting right now. He just got to not get injured for a whole season.
The weird thing is, even though Michael Vick is probably the most talented runner as a quarterback in NFL history, he really wasn't his main thing. He was a way better passer. I mean, he had to be because you couldn't do what he was doing at that time and get away with it as easily. Not that you can get it away with it easier now, but it's not like you have these guys that used to be running backs switching over position back then. You know what I mean? It was him, and that was it.
That's true. We got to see how they develop. I mean, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, they're both young. So they haven't been in it. Neither one been in the league for over 5 years yet, have they?
No, this is year 3 for Lamar, I think, or maybe year 2. And
I think it's year 3.
I want to say it's year 3 and year 4 for Mahomes. So yeah, I mean,
these are young guys.
So this is gonna be interesting. All right, so you guys So we're shifting away from sports now. I figured we might as well.
What about the EA start today?
Do what?
The NBA starts today.
Yep, the NBA starts.
I don't have a lower third for that. Hold on.
Cavaliers.
Got to.
Is this the official restart? Is this the official restart or
this is the regular season?
We got the Jazz and the
regular season.
The
yep, the Jazz and the Pelicans. You got the Lakers and the Clippers. They got 9 more games to play for the regular season.
Yeah, who are the
I'm kind of interested to see how he does.
Who are the Magic playing? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, Zion Wilson. They say they don't want to play him that much because he's still kind of injured.
Magic play the Nets tomorrow.
Okay.
And then the Wizards, Grizzlies and the Trailblazers, Celtics and the Bucks. Then the Kings.
The Grizzlies are the jump. No, I think John Morant got Rookie of the Year.
Oh, really?
He's the best. He's like new Mike Jordan. He surprised me.
Yeah, I would say
second round drop pick.
That first start with the Pelicans this year for Zion, where he was putting up like 20 fucking points in a couple of different periods. I mean, or quarters, whatever you want to call it. That's gonna be kind of tough to beat. I feel like, you know what I mean. That debut.
Yeah.
That's I didn't watch enough of the NBA to know, but I know that I remember seeing.
Well, John Morant's doing the same thing as a rookie, like he with the Memphis Grizzlies, and he is killing them right now. Killing it.
Okay, I mean, maybe he's had a better year. I would love to see it be somebody that I actually know the name of. But
I'm excited though, like to see the rest of this year, like because they're talking about the Lakers, you know, with LeBron and Anthony Davis. Really, I think these are the two main teams to look at tonight. Like the Clippers against the Lakers, that's going to be big. And see who's going to win that tonight. And me, I love the Lakers. I think they're great, but I think the Clippers going to drag them because people sleep on Kawhi Leonard, man. He is like the truth. He's real fundamentally smart.
And it looks like the NHL is going to be starting in the next couple days as well.
Nice.
The NHL playoffs is going to be a round-robin tournament this year.
Oh.
So it won't be a traditional NHL playoff. So it's going to be more teams. And they're going to play like what they would do over in Canada, which is everyone's going to play each other twice, and whoever's got the most wins and losses out of that's going to advance to the next rounds. And then they'll do traditional playoffs from there, I presume.
Nice.
Traditional, you know, with a shortened format. But
I feel my testosterone coming back. Like with sports coming back, I feel my testosterone coming back. I'm starting to feel a little bit like most sports. It's like you can't go to like men can't. It's got to be something. You just can't do it. Like. Now, entertainment wise, you get to watch too many reality shows and watch too many movies. You're about to start watching soap operas in a minute.
I'm watching Hamilton.
You're watching Hamilton.
I haven't watched anything new since. I haven't started a new show once.
You what?
Oh, and y'all know what else too? We forgot about. Roy Jones and Mike Tyson signed a contract. They actually go on fight.
Yep.
They're going to fight. I don't know. Roy Jones has never been a heavyweight before. Mike Tyson's a superweight.
Last years, honestly, that's the crazy thing is that.
Anybody want to make bet money?
Man, I'm putting money on Mike. Mike still got that. Mike still got that strength.
I don't know like that.
Power too. I guarantee you that you can look at his strikes and say, "Oh, they're weaker than they used to be," but I bet you they'd still knock most of us out.
Roy Jones is still fast though. He got hands. Mike Tyson ain't fought nobody like that before.
I mean, I would say there are definitely people like that he has fought. I mean, maybe not recently, but I mean, like, you know.
Y'all want to make a bet?
No, I don't.
I got my money on Roy Jones.
You call him Mike? You call him Roy Jones? I'll call Mike Tyson. I still think Mike Tyson got it.
I don't want to bet.
Mike Tyson got it too. But he ain't an animal no more. He like he niced up a little bit. I think Roy Jones got hands, quick speed, and
it's like riding a bike. That aggression.
I think it's so hard to discount the just absolute destructive capability of Mike Tyson. It's so difficult to discount.
I'll tell you what. If Mike Tyson beat Roy Jones, I will do
Okay, and I know this
push-ups
is
on a live show.
Right? Everyone just assumes that Nate Diaz probably beats if they go to it for like a fourth time. Probably Nate Diaz beats Conor again, right? Well, that's because of all the same reasons probably why Mike Tyson would lose to Roy Jones, like the speed, the ability to do other things besides just strike like that.
Getting older, he was lighter. He was lighter.
Is because you know Conor has his left, and Conor's left ends the fight pretty much.
Right.
So you're interested in that fight because Conor might just knock him out. I think Mike Tyson's in a very similar situation here where if he knocks him out, it's the greatest thing ever. If not, okay, Mike Tyson's career is actually over, you know?
Mike Tyson don't fight the right style, I think, to fight Roy Jones. I think Roy Jones is a little bit too fast. He's a skilled fighter like Floyd Mayweather. Mike Tyson ain't used to people like that moves around a lot.
I think
Floyd's almost a combination of the two things. He's so deceptive, but he's also got that knockout power. That's the other guy with that deceptive strength where it's all it's going to take is one from that guy, you know. And
Mike smokes weed every day. He smokes weed every day. Not saying nothing against you, Mike, because I want you to come beat my ass. Like, let's just smoke weed. I can still kick ass. Of course, you can kick my ass, but I'm just saying. Mike smoking weed every day, even though it's weed, it's still in your lungs. And I'm telling you, he gonna blow up. Roy Jones ain't smoking nothing.
Nope.
He gonna be winded.
I'm gonna
be winded.
Nope. I'm telling you, he's
Phil, when I beat you up, I'm gonna fight you and smoke at the same time.
Roy Jones is going to beat him. Mike Tyson gonna stop. He ain't gonna get knocked out or nothing. He's just gonna be like, look, I quit. I don't even want to fight him no more. So I'm just not into this anymore. I just to get back on my podcast show. I'm on my way.
I was doing this fight, but it's all good. I'm good.
Because I just want to smoke my weed and do my podcast. Fuck, I don't want to fuck with Roy Jones. I don't want to fuck with nobody. I'm not meant to fight no more. I just don't have that instinct anymore. I'm not being anymore like that.
Here we are now.
He's like back in the day, I would have beat his fucking ear off or something. But you what? I'm just not like that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just playing Mike.
Whoa, what was the quote?
I just playing my.
Something to the effect of like the monster has been re-unleashed or something like that was what they said, or to that effect. I mean, like, you know, like what was it?
Mike slap me
or something like that was the way the God of War called him back to battle or something like that was the phrasing he used, and I was like, that's. I was like that.
He gotta stop fucking so much weed though. He smoked back to back. He step up in there, boy, he gonna be in there winded. Roy Jones ain't smoking. He about to go in there and. Roy Jones, you know, he older too. He got away, but yeah, you gotta take that shit. I don't know if he's smoking now. I gotta look at updates on his training, but
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
I got my money on Roy Jones.
They ain't supposed to fight till September. He can go a month September 12th. He can fight. I mean, and to be honest, it's supposed to go on in Carson, California. There ain't no way they're letting anything go on in California right now. That's the capital of coronavirus right now.
But weed is legal there.
Okay, so they can smoke the weed, but he ain't gonna. They're not going to be able to fight. I'm telling you.
They're fighting. They already signed contracts.
Right, but what I'm saying is they're going to have to cancel it or postpone it because it's a month.
I got it.
They are number one in coronavirus cases right now. They beat New York. So you can't tell me they're going to let anything like that happen in California right now.
Well, California number one?
Yes.
Okay. California been 4 states.
I think this has gone up since the last time we looked.
Yes.
So we have about 4,505,932 total cases in the United States. It's a lot. And then 150,000 deaths. So there's been about 65,000 new cases and 1,000 new deaths since yesterday. So the virus is still chugging along there. Hopefully we can get rid of that soon. You know. But speaking of the coronavirus, so you guys have some tips for staying positive during this whole situation?
Comedy.
No.
Watch comedy shows. Listen.
Yes, I'm going to list off 3 shows that if you haven't seen, binge them now. They're available on a streaming network.
Yes.
How I Met Your Mother, The Office, No, the reason why I mentioned How I Met Your Mother is just comedy, because it's not the greatest comedy, but it's a lot of episodes. Okay.
Okay, I'll give you that.
There's a lot of episodes, and most of them are pretty funny. Okay, so wait, let me change that.
I stay.
Okay. All right, I'll change that one out. Parks and Rec, The Office, and I'm gonna say for the third one, probably, I'm gonna go classic. If you can find episodes of Seinfeld.
The old guard is good too. That's a good movie I saw on Netflix. Cursed is good too.
Cursed, that's
called Cursed.
Tiger King stuff. I haven't watched it, but maybe I should do that. Maybe this week I watch the Tiger King stuff.
It's like Game of Thrones a little bit.
I don't even know if I want to watch that.
The Witcher with Henry Cavill is on Netflix, I believe.
Yeah,
so good stuff. Just find something good to watch. Like, don't be like me. I haven't watched anything new since any of this stuff happened. Like, literally nothing.
I stay positive by not being positive.
Ugh.
So you stay negative to stay positive. Is that like it cancels itself out? Like, so if any negativity comes
no, I stay
along,
positive. I stay positive by not being positive.
Is it like dividing by zero? No, but anyway, I'm trying to make a math joke.
It's divided by one. And
listen, good at math. Anyway, yeah. But speaking of positive things that came out of this whole situation, I guess you guys both have a story related to this of the quitting smoking during the quarantine.
Oh yes,
I've been trying. Tony went a month.
I've been a month, maybe a little longer. I honestly lost count, but either way, I ain't
lying. I stopped smoking. I'm 2 days strong. I mean, I smoked 4 cigarettes in the last 2 days, and I feel like shit. I really want to go get one. I want to eat a whole box of tobacco. I'm not gonna lie. I am definitely a crackhead. Jared goes smoke. Garrett goes smoke a cigarette. We sit here talking about it.
I'm not good. I'm good. I'm okay with it. I see it, but I never smoked in the house anyway, so it didn't bother me.
I'm still going through withdrawal.
Yeah,
I be crying and shit.
Crying
and shit. Man, I was sitting on the toilet taking the shit. I was like, man, I wish I had a cigarette right now because this is the perfect time. I get out work. I get emotional, man. It's hard. For real, it's not easy.
I don't think I could make it through this quarantine if I quit smoking. I'm going to be completely honest.
I didn't think I could either, but I got some good pharmaceutical help. So.
Oh. Well, in that case, I suppose at that point, why not? But
I mean, it's made for quitting smoking, but it's still pretty good. I mean, it's
I'm trying to quit smoking, taking detoxes and all this shit, trying to clean my body out. I gotta just hate it. I hate it so much. Too, I'm trying to get rid of my little belly. I remember I was 6 months pregnant. I'm probably look like I'm 4.5 now. So I'm I'm working on it.
I'm trying to walk. We get that 15-minute break. So I'm trying to walk. I'll walk around the block. It takes me 8 minutes. So I'll do that and then have 5 minutes left to do anything else I need. So it's not too terrible.
Cigarettes?
Huh?
Y'all miss cigarettes? A little bit. I mean, I'm working on it though. I'm on it. I'm quitting too.
The thing was, I enjoyed cigarettes. I enjoyed smoking. You know what it was I don't smoke weed and I don't have to drink alcohol. So I enjoyed cigarettes. I wanted a cigarette, but it just, for me personally, it's the money, the extra money now that I got. I'm
the money, yeah. Did you do anything extra though? Like take nicotine patches or?
I've got Shantix.
Shantix.
Mm-hmm. It's a pill.
What is that?
It's a pill.
Mm-hmm. That's that shit they show on infomercials where they be like, if you feel dizziness, thoughts of suicide, itching, redness, swelling of the neck, swelling of those.
I had no itching.
It's or if you start to feel your hair coming out, or if you It's like it's already gone. It's like, all right, or if you feel like growing breasts, or if you feel like your toes are swelling up, they got too many side effects. Like you heard, they say it fast too. Like have difficulty breathing, if you have difficulty seeing, if you have difficulty hearing, if you have difficulty smelling, you be like, I seen that commercial 1,000 times.
It's called fat neck, motherfucker. No, anyway.
The medicine gives you worse side effects than the disease does.
What does Shantex do when you take it?
Nothing. I mean,
it has something in it to relieve the.
It started out as an antidepressant. That's what it
That's
first.
An opioid.
So then
that's opioid. I need you to stop that.
Then they noticed that people that were on it found it easy to quit smoking. So then they started doing tests for that, and they realized, ooh, we can make more money if it's for quitting smoking than for an antidepressant. There's plenty of antidepressants out in the world.
Shantex, that's an opioid. Yeah, Oxycontin and Vicodin.
That's a narcotic you're thinking about.
Xanax.
No.
That's an antidepressant.
No.
Xanax rhymes with Xanax.
That's
what Xanax is. I ain't taking no Shantex. Like it sounds too much like Xanax. It's like sound like a fancy version of it. You know what?
Ticks.
And it may quit smoking, so it got to be strong. You still taking it?
Yeah, you just don't have that urge anymore. I mean, again, oh my god. I'm gonna get an HR call tomorrow.
Hey man, I'm just making jokes.
They're gonna be like, you've been on Shantex. You'd be like, did you see the commercial? It said as long as you don't feel shortness of breath, thoughts of suicide, swelling of the neck, difficulty breathing, itching, scratching.
I mean, again,
redness.
Things I had anyway from smoking. Shortness of breath.
I threw the JK in the case.
Difficulty breathing. Yeah, because I was smoking.
My doctor gave me something called Brufen, but I took that shit. I was high as hell. I was like, dude, I was sitting in the room watching TV.
That's what you should have, Phil.
I was like, what is that? A fireball?
Yep.
Great balls of fire.
You should get a box of those and then dump them in a quarter bottle of Fireball. Now,
you eat too many of them, it's gonna make your tongue feel raw. You gonna mess around and go. It's like this.
It's like this big, full of those things for like $10 off Amazon.
Wow.
All right, well, eat about 3 of them, like them fireballs, and then go try to eat some potato chips. You know, your mouth gonna be burning. All that salt is gonna be like, you're like, woo.
Nah, it's good.
I don't know, but I'm not quit cigarettes. I'm just going to work out and just veer off of it. I was going to use like the extra stuff the doctor gave me, but I'm like, I don't want to replace it with nothing else.
You want to go?
Purpose. If I could just beat it.
Do what?
Did what?
You want to go up to the Kettering right together? We'll sign up for a family plan.
That's a long way to go to the gym. I'm like,
not for you.
Maybe the virus calms down a little bit more. I don't know if I want to be swimming with a bunch of people.
Oh, I wouldn't go swimming, to be honest.
Oh, just for the gym.
I wouldn't go swimming either. People blow their nose pool.
I mean, unless Phil wants to buy me a Bowflex.
A Bowflex? I'll make you one out of some rubber bands and I make out of some inner tubes. I go get some inner tubes.
No, what's the other thing? Exercise bike. What's the exercise bike?
Oh, like the Peloton type thing?
Yeah, I want one of those.
Yeah, that's my birthday present this year, guys. I want one of those. No, anyway.
I just want a couple of steroids. Like, let me get 2.
No,
I don't think you do.
No.
I'm gonna be walking around like, yeah. I'm be doing like all the rest of the shows. I'm gonna do my shirt off. I'll be sitting there like, yeah, ladies, you know, that's how I do in here. You know, making my chest move like. So look, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Dr. Feel Good. You know why you gonna feel good? Because I'm muscular. I got a girl, I'm gonna die.
So yeah, pulling it up, cases, California's number one. They got 491,000 cases.
Sorry, I put up a funny.
This ain't no Shantex. This ain't no Shantex.
So, do you guys listen to any other podcasts?
Yes,
I listen to Hot Bots and Mike Tyson's.
I listen to like 4 or 5 different podcasts.
So, did you ever watch Scrubs?
I've seen episodes of Scrubs. I didn't see most of it.
So, I have to give a shout out to them because they're like, that was my favorite show. Like, I watched that show probably like 1,000 times, to be honest. But they started doing a rewatch show, just like the Office Ladies for The Office, where they rewatch the show and then they talk about like the episode, and then they'll like do some behind the scenes stuff or even just their normal everyday life. So that's one of the podcasts I've been listening to while I work. What about you, Garrett? When you're working, do you listen to anything or?
I do listen to one podcast all the time. It's like 4 hours long, and it makes the time go really fast. I won't talk about the name because I don't want to really be associated necessarily with it because it's really, really dark humor and stuff like that. But some of the other ones that I listen to occasionally, there was a couple of wrestling podcasts I listened to for a while. I don't really listen to those anymore. There is one that is, so I watched this show called the Movie Trivia Schmodown, which is like a trivia competition about movies. And you have different levels of strategy and different games. And it's just this whole thing. There's a couple of podcasts related to that I listen to. And so if you want to get into the Schmodown, those podcasts are a good way to learn a little bit about what's going on with that before they actually play. But I'm trying to think what else I listen to consistently. I know I listen to.
I just been watching Mike Tyson's is funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's at least a couple more that I listen to that I just can't think of off the top of my head. There were several that I would listen to weekly for a really long time.
Right.
And I just kind of fell off of a lot of them for one reason or another. There was 4 or 5 that I listened to weekly. No joke, that dropped off when a company fired all the people that I liked at it. I mean, like, all the people that I watched on the shows, and the same thing with a different company where they fired a bunch of people. A lot of the people I like to see.
Yeah.
I'm subscribed to the service. I'm gonna cancel it after the next season of the show that I watch because it's not worth it for me to subscribe for like $5 a month or something. If
it's an app where you can put. It's an app you can pull up to all the podcasts. I be watching them. All of them. I mean, listen to them.
Other podcasts that I listen to clips of all the time would be like Joe Rogan. Oh, I'm a huge fan of the Joe Rogan Experience. I listen to like most of the episodes of that show that I can. I listen to a lot of them in full, some of them in part, but most of them in full. I think the most recent Joe Rogan episode I watched was one with Ben Shapiro on it. It's probably been more since then. I'm sure he's like every day, but if you guys, that's definitely, by the way, I would recommend if you're bored and you have hours to kill and you have nothing to do because you can't go out and do anything right now, listen to a podcast or something. Do it while you're like doing housework or something that you have to do anyway, because
that's what I do.
Really, really great way to pass the time. And it looks like the first pitch in the Cleveland, Minnesota game just went off. So,
ooh, nice.
Yeah, and don't go on Pornhub all the time. Like, it's not good.
Yeah, like Phil.
I'm going to Pornhub. It costs so many vices.
So I will say, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a podcast where he'll have like NASCAR guests on there, and he had a sister on who he owns his company with, which I found very interesting. And he'll have racing legends that are in there, kind of talking about things. I mean, my favorite is when he has like the guests that some of the racers that went against his dad or even him, and they just kind of reminisce about what kind of guy his dad was, Dale Earnhardt, and things like that.
Yeah. Those things would be kind of boring. Like, yeah, I might look at Dale Earnhardt, but I just watch race cars, and it's fun going to it live.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to the one in Georgia, like in Atlanta, that's live, but like I used to work at those tracks.
There's one in Kentucky that's really close to us, I think. Indianapolis, I think, is really close to us. So me and my girlfriend have talked about that, like going once everything gets back to normal, about saving up and going to a race so I can see it live.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice live. I mean, it's a bunch of it's not like you think. It's a bunch of trailers out there. So people out there selling food, restaurants, and everything out there. People selling clothes, gear. It's like going to a festival.
Have you played the new NASCAR game, Tony, by chance?
Not the newest one. I'm
probably downloaded it day one. It is super fun.
I like the race car games.
I had the last 2 years, and they seemed pretty fun.
Yeah, NASCAR Heat 5 totally worth the buy if you're into that.
That's what I have to. Yeah, I got a bunch of games that I need to take.
Well, first, of course, you know how it is.
Yeah,
you gotta play as Bubba. It's almost like a rite of passage for me and my group of friends at this point. When you come on, you have to play as Bubba Wallace. No, but anyway, everyone just we know because he was in the news for so much. Now everyone just wants to know. Hey, he got his name out there, you know.
Well, and I mean, I feel bad for him. I mean, I really feel like he got put like a bad rap as far as that goes.
I don't be watching Pornhub. You be watching Pornhub. You tried to type in Pornhub and we saw the little history pop up. You didn't even know we saw that, did you? The history came up like Pornhub. He's like chicks with dicks.
Okay. All right. What else we got tonight? So the great John Lewis getting laid to rest.
Yeah. Hey, I looked at that, and it's he's a historical person. He did a lot for the civil rights movement, especially when they still had like the Jim Crow things in effect. And every president came out, to show him support. When George Bush was there, Bill Clinton was there, Obama spoke at the eulogy, and
where was
Trump? I think he was tweeting.
Yeah,
he came on Twitter.
He's been crying lately, like nobody likes me. Like what is up with that?
Because nobody likes him, I guess.
I mean, I can't wait till November, to be honest.
He just need to send out one more stimulus check, and then like you'll get a lot. I like him a little more.
He's buying the votes. I'll be honest. He is buying.
Hey, he's sending out a check for like $5,000. He's like, if I get elected, the first thing I'm gonna do is send out a third one. I'm like, what? You gonna send out a third one? I'm not voting for him. Get to the thing, like put me on the Democrat side, and I'm going over there. I'm gonna throw my pin to the other side, like, oh. No, I wouldn't do that. I have morals. Mm-hmm. Get money all the way, but then again, I don't. Because like it's cash, I don't know. But but that was there's a nice memorial they had today. They had a lot of singing. A lot of people showed out.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's one of the people that walked with Martin Luther King. Made a big difference. He was one of the people that pitched the fit about getting civil rights and things together, that was fortunate enough to live to see the first Black president, because there was a movement that they were trying to make towards, just different things happening, just showing the quality of how society is starting to blend. But as it's starting to blend, it causes a ripple effect sometimes that makes people in society start to react different, and people that are against things come together and getting more blended are starting to come out, which is actually older people. You don't see a lot of young people like that nowadays, like that kind of racism embedded in them. That's probably why Corona is like a karma for everybody, not just, white, Black, Chinese, Mexicans, everybody got some kind of racism in them, especially the ones that are like over 70 and 80.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to get over what they went through in the 30s. Like I took a lot of calls in my center for people that was born in 19, 20, and 30.
Oh, wow.
And they be telling me some stories sometimes. I like, because I'm doing this Morgan Stanley thing right now. I'm helping, mine set up, man. Hundreds of thousands of seniors.
I had a lady tell me once that I needed to watch Fox News to get all my information over the phone. There was 3 shows.
A lot of people say that. Well, Fox News really ain't biased. Like they don't show the love to nobody. Like
That's the common misconception about Fox News is that it's not yeah, they have both views and a lot of the other networks don't. But Fox News has a conservative slant to it, just like the other channels have a, progressive slant to them. It's just you have to be able to be truly objective, you'd have to be like, okay, we're the blah news center and we only just report the news here. That's true unbiasedness. There's no real way to unbiasedly report the news, unfortunately. I personally believe, right. And it's the disagreement I had with people in news class, right? Was do we have any control over our biases? The people teaching me seem to think we do. I disagreed. I don't think that you can escape it, personally.
It's all fake news.
I'm not saying that, but this is definitely fake news.
Yeah. Hey, so real quick. So about the coin shortage in the world right now. So Chick-fil-A is offering cash and free food if you bring them in. They're in change to them. So
they're like pennies. Boy, I got a big penny jar.
They'll give you $10 bill for $10 worth of quarters and a coupon for a free Chick-fil-A sandwich if you bring it in. So that's in Virginia.
What? I was about to say I'm going to Chick-fil-A tomorrow. I got to change jar of food.
Where are we at as a society that we're running out of coins? This is a society that 5-10 years ago tried to tell me that it costs too much money to make pennies because it costs like 2 cents to make a penny or something like that. So we're losing money.
And they want coins. Why don't they just go to the fountains and get the change out of them? On the wishing fountains and wishing shit. Just go in there and take them coins out.
Just get collected by city anyway, because otherwise there would be like 1 million coins in the Trevi Fountain or something,
That's what I think about doing one time. I was super broke. I was like,
that's go to the fountain. It's actually the Trevi Fountain. That's what happened.
I'm gonna go in the fountain. I'm gonna take out like $8 worth of quarters. Buy me some food.
That Trevi Fountain used to probably be a really easy way to get rich back in the day, because back in the day, coins were made out of like stuff like gold, like tangibly valuable stuff that you could take to another nation and still get value for. Who knows? But
I don't know how I run out of coins. I got plenty of pennies though. I got like jars full of pennies. They start need some pennies.
Chick-fil-A in Virginia.
Yeah, I just went to the dollar store today. They was like that. I went to the dollar store. They only taking credit cards today. They're not unless you got exact change.
Where did I go the other day? I went somewhere and it was like, yep, they had a sign that said credit card only.
I just went to the dollar store today. It was like you have to have exact change or a credit card. I want to say, the government's slick. They trying to eliminate like cash.
Yep.
Well, that's
everything on card.
The system they exist on now, there's not. I mean, there's physical cash, but none of it's actually real. It's all just bad.
Yeah, then they've been come out with the vaccine to the coronavirus. And it's going to have a chip like we have the vaccine, but great thing about it is we have a vaccine that made it so you don't even need a credit card. So you enter this chip in you, and you can never catch corona. Plus, all you have to do is touch your finger. As long as you have this chip, the electricity, which won't harm you because it's 5G, will register your credit card. Never have to carry a card or a wallet again. It's all in the power of your finger.
That'd be cool.
No, it wouldn't.
You don't have to carry it?
Slap somebody. That means you cannot ever do nothing. That's like total New World Order. No freedom. You can't go out of the country. Birds aren't real.
The conspiracy section will have to. Have we talked about the birds aren't real conspiracy at all?
The what conspiracy?
You haven't heard of this? So there's a conspiracy theory out there. I'll just throw it back up. There are people out there that legitimately believe the birds aren't real. That they're government drones.
Are you shitting me right now?
There's people out there that hold on. Let me find it.
And I have clearly shot plenty of birds with a BB gun before. I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna do this together. I don't want to give this site any press that we don't have to, but we're gonna take a look at this together.
Yeah, I BB guns some birds before. They're real.
Bing, but this is literally birds.
I eat birds every day.
Real.com.
What?
What? I don't want to read it. Don't go to this website. It's not worth your time. But like,
that's crap. Somebody
birds aren't real.
Fake. Look, there's YouTube videos on it.
Well, that's just like
our trees.
Look at the thumbnail. It's so well made.
Phil was believing that the whole flat earthers thing.
Here's our thumbnail for the week, boys.
Well, flat Earth is something to think about, but it's like why the water don't fall off in one of the directions because of gravity. Gravity pulls everything down here at 9.8 millimeters per second. I mean, 9.8 meters per second.
So yeah, there's legitimate
birds get the fire.
Drones.
Somebody snorted some battery ass.
So far, and flat Earth takes a lot of liberties with science.
Yeah,
but that is absolutely.
No, that's somebody that don't leave the house. It's never been a kid.
Birds are
never
real.
took a BB gun. I have shot a bird with a BB gun before.
Did it
multiple times when I was younger?
You shot it with a BB gun. It didn't start like electrocuting itself and like shutting it down. There wasn't. No,
it fell out the tree. It fell out the tree, and you can see guts.
See, that's the thing, though. The guts, they're meant to cover up the fact that it's actually a fake bird. If you'd have examined the bird closer, you'd have found the metal exoskeleton.
Man, we poked that bird to death. Like, we was little, man. We was bad. We poked it up. Like, look, there goes his heart. We didn't find the heart and everything. It was like, we was dumb kids. Like, we had a little pellet gun that you pump like, you know, and them birds with them. I'm talking about the old ones, like, you know, back when I was young, like in the 80s. Like, when you pump that gun, I'm like,
the neck.
Pow.
No. Anyway, well, this is going to be the starting topic next week. Swelling of the neck. No, anyway. So just swole, just giant meat neck. No, but anyway, just like full neck, just like, hey, what's going on, guys? I've been going to the gym again lately. Like
that dude with that giant neck that they was talking about. They made all them jokes about him on social media. Neck man, like, what's next?
Tell me where to go.
Like, what's next?
Neck man.
I'm necked up. Like, one of my neck of the woods.
You're
like, you did that just in the time.
Section of the woods, sir. You're right. It's your neck of the woods. No, but anyway, no one else can exist in a section of the woods while you're next to it.
Don't get neglected.
Neglected. Oh, I see what you did there. So okay, I think that about wraps it up. Honestly, I mean, we're coming up with random topics in like the last 20 minutes. I think that's pretty good. We've been going for about 53 minutes. It's been an hour-long show.
We're gonna go. You already know.
Yeah, exactly. Before Phil starts freestyling, let's
wrap it up.
Freestyles gets us.
You don't want to hear me freestyle.
Do what?
You don't want to hear me freestyle, but you know I already got a CD y'all, so you got to pay to hear what come out of my mouth. Figure it down. I spit. I don't quit. In the game, and don't take no shit. I cuss, but it's PG curse. Don't want to be in a hearse. I'm always first. I'm quenching the thirst. Gatorade. Hey.
Just stop.
I'm a wait.
Hey, breaking news. Ohio to stop selling alcohol at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard that right before the show.
Phil's gonna have to go to the liquor store real quick, pick up his 40s.
First of all, you don't go to 40s at the gas station.
The Old English. I already got mine.
I don't drink Old English.
I bought them earlier.
I have like 12.
Can't drink no beer, man. I told you I'm trying to get rid of my stomach. That got too much yeast in it.
You just have to move afterwards.
I'm drinking wine.
Wine? I can't
don't look like that.
I like some sweet wine. I'll drink a nice Chardonnay.
They said it's good for you, son.
Or Pinot Grigio.
I've never been a fan of wine. I don't know why. I've not had a wine I like yet. I don't know why.
What?
Because you're still in your 20s.
That's okay. I was yelled at.
What?
Let me get a whooping.
You were describing?
Not sweet wines. I'll still
The
drink.
girl was like, well, where is it?
White Zen.
Yeah, I've had white Zinfandel before. Zinfandel, whatever you call it. Yeah, no, I've never been a fan of wine. I don't know why.
Yeah, I wasn't. It's a good one. I'll take it.
I really want some liquor though.
Just like beer. So I think we should do a live show one night. Maybe at one of the local breweries we have here in Ohio. Anybody down?
Yeah.
I'm interested.
I'm down there.
Time for me.
We can go to Warp Wings.
I gotta get some stuff taken care of first, but
okay. So what if we did
down?
So if we did Garrett at home and then Phil and we could use tablets for. You think that might work?
That would work, yeah, because I wouldn't be able to live us. Yeah, I would have to be one of us would have to be at home, so that'd be fine for me because I wouldn't be able to go out and drink at this moment anyway.
You got to go get your IDs.
Yeah. You 21 now?
Well, yeah, it's not that it's not the age thing. It's the I'm like my ID is expired or something like that.
So you got to have like.
Yeah, I just got to get like a new temps put together.
You sound just like them kids on Super. Like my ID expired even though I'm 21.
You got to have like birth certificate, a passport, a social security card,
like one piece of identifying information.
7 witnesses,
insurance card in case he drinks much.
Go in 3 virgins just to get it. Yeah, I know it's ridiculous.
It's like crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't know why I understand why they want people on Ohio's roads because they're so crappy to be good drivers. I just don't understand why I have to get my temps months or something like that. You know?
Yeah, right.
All
right, so we'll wrap it up this week. Everybody have a great week. And who knows? Maybe you'll see us next week, maybe a little earlier. Who knows?
Maybe. We'll see.
Yep. All right. Everybody. Tempo out.
Peace.
Peace.